Ouais, pour...
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Strategy Vault Live. I'm Gio.
And I'm Felix.
And you
sorry,
are?
today, and I'm Felix, and I'm with Maeva, who just came to sit down because we're having a super snowstorm that closed down all the schools. So we have an invitee today, and it's Marketing Monday. We're talking about why podcasting is exploding and why it's the most powerful way to build trust with your audience. So feel free to join in the conversation. And if you're in business and not leveraging podcasting, you're missing out. So let's crack open the vault, my friend. Let's go to George.
Boom. All right. Before we jump in, let's talk about one of the easiest business wins you can get right now. If you run a business, you know cash flow is king, but do you actually know how much financing you could secure by next week? Our sponsor, Stratégie Conseil, no boring sales talk, just straight value. Let's get our little thing up on the screen. Oh, we're already there. And So if you guys feel like your business is running in one spot, give Stratégie Conseil a call. They'll help you take to the next level. All right, okay. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. You guys, do you have a nice weekend?
Yes, very snowy, man. Very.
I can't believe there was 2 snow days back to back on Friday and on Monday. Your kids must be so happy.
Crazy. Touche pas ça parce que tu vas me mettre sur mute, Coco. Yeah, man. It was a massive blizzard yesterday in Quebec. We had a lot of fun. Took the kids outside. Took some time to play. And we're back in force, Jord.
I forgot to mention one thing about Stratégie Conseil. Sorry about that. But Stratégie Conseil is giving out a free business and credit financing evaluation. That's amazing. And it takes 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's just put it back up. Sorry, because I forgot that about our
I changed I changed the ads for this week and also for Uninet, so you check it out.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, give them a call. All right, okay. Let's move on to our main topics. Why podcasting feels more powerful than any other content. It's true though, Fel. You know what? Podcasting has been exploding recently. I don't know. I guess the past couple of years, it's like taking over the traditional radio kind of content, and now we're doing podcasting, which is like, I don't know if you follow a lot of different podcasters, but for me, it's like my go-to now when I go to the gym, when I'm walking outside. I don't listen to music anymore. I feel like I'm so addicted to watching podcasts, and it's so interesting. People just have a lot of stuff to share, and that's kind of why we started this channel, right? Because you and I were always having conversations about business, about how to succeed in life. We talk about money. We talk about business. We talk about all kinds of stuff. We talk about life. We talk about family. We talk about God. We talk about politics. So I think it's interesting. So and that's why we started this podcast, because we kept saying like, man, we feel like we're having such fun discussions, and we have such cool information to share. So we're like, we want to share with the world. So thank you for joining us again, and we hope you enjoy our content. And we're doing deep dives on questions. Yeah, Fel, sorry, go ahead.
No, but it's a good parallel, but because and that's why I feel like after like 90, we're at 96 episodes, George, like it's you have to think about that when you do something 96 times. What when was the last time you did something 96 times? When was your last 96 push-up straight, like straight 96 push-up? When
There's a
was the
lot of
last
things in our life that we did 96 times, but this is measured. That's why we see it. It's,
that you've
a lot of
measured?
things we
Okay.
do, it's
That
measured.
yeah.
So we should measure things more in life. Wouldn't you agree? We should measure
Yeah,
everything
to
that we're
really
doing.
like see
You're,
how
you're
far
writing
you've
down your goal.
been.
I wrote
Yeah.
down my goals 96 times. Should we should write that down too altogether because it's keeping track of progress. You know,
The hot take about podcasting, and like, because we've been reading this whole book every Monday. Me and George were reading this book from Terry O'Reilly, very good book from a Canadian author. Um, I recommend it, and it's he was a radio host for a very long time. I think
mm,
he still is a radio host at the CBC radio. And I felt like there was a huge parallel to be made with podcasting, because podcasting is the new radio in my head, in my
it
opinion.
is.
Um,
I would like to ask him that. I would like to see what the author of that book thinks because when that book was written, radio was, and I'm sure it's radio is still working right now. I'm sure, like, but not as much as podcasting, right? But I would like to ask the author of that book because that book was written quite a few years ago, and podcasting started exploding after he wrote that book.
mm.
So I wonder if he kind of shifted in his methods, or if radio is still working. I don't know. I don't listen to the radio anymore. Now I just listen to podcasts now, but I guess it's the same concept, you could say.
I like the podcast.
It's more free flow, right? It's like you and I have our podcast channel. We could say whatever we want. We're not like under the we're not like under supervision of like the owners of the radio station. We have to watch out what we say. So podcasting is more like, if I want to say the word, I want to say, you're next to your kid. I feel bad saying it, but you know what I mean.
That
So we're
here it's right in my hair. So,
rules, and I think that's what people like about it. It's more free, you
but
know.
this is a live stream. Like what we're doing, me and you, George. Like it's also different. It's also a different uh channel, because it's a live stream. People could comment, and we could have that conversation one on one with our people, with our audience. So when these guys are showing up, sometimes when Jo was showing up, and I don't know where
Where
is
is
this
Jo?
guy.
Where the hell is he? Where's that guy? Jo,
Just
are
show
you
up every
there?
day.
Fucking used to show up every day, man. He
But it's a
stopped coming.
one-on-one conversation you're having with your audience, which is actually very interesting. And this is that connection that I wanted to explore today with the podcast. So why do people feel like they know their favorite podcast host, but don't feel the same about, like, your podcast hosts are like, um, you're back in the days it was the radio hosts, the radio
Yeah.
hosts. I don't know if you remember,
How
George,
do
like,
people pick? Like, how do people pick a favorite a favorite podcast? You mean?
yeah, but the
Like,
host is important, because if the host is
yeah.
not
Like,
interesting, like,
look, I'll tell you how I listen to podcasts. Like, first of all, I know Joe Rogan is the most popular. I think he's number one there. He is the type of like the type of podcast that I like to listen to when I'm at the gym, when I'm going for a walk, like even when I'm just trying to sleep at night. Like, I love his content so much. I love how it's so interesting. He interviews a lot of people. So I think
Mhm,
that's the key. He interviews, and each show is a different kind of flavor, right? Sometimes he's interviewing comedians. Sometimes he's interviewing like Neil deGrasse Tyson, Elon
mhm.
Musk, different guys. He interviewed Donald Trump. Like that was jokes, but that for me, like that I love that. Not just because he's the most popular one, but because it's entertaining, it's informative. You learn stuff, and I think that's what's cool about podcasting is that you're learning stuff and it's also fun, entertaining. That's what I think. But I listen to other ones as well. I like finance, so I listen to some financing podcasts. I don't know what about you? How do you go about your like podcasting? Who do you listen to?
I don't watch
Besides
podcasts
the
for the same
strategy vault,
reasons.
that is.
I don't watch pod. I feel like I'm not watching podcasts for the same reasons as most people. I'm watching podcasts to relax at night with my wife. So I'm
Mhm.
watching a lot of content that she likes.
What does
Um,
she listen to?
I feel like a lot of guys are gonna feel like me. You know, sometimes I'm just listening to stuff because she wants to listen to stuff, and she's happy, so I'm happy. But I actually find enjoyment, you know, in watching my wife's stuff. Most men don't want to admit it, but
Yeah, that's true. It's like that classic, like your wife is watching like one of those Love
my wife
Island
is
shows.
watching it, so I'm watching it. I actually
Yeah,
like it. You
and,
know,
and you're
I
like
actually like
pretending like, what is this? You're acting
yeah,
all
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
what
you
is
know,
this that
like
you're watching? And then you slowly get invested into what they're watching.
yeah, yeah.
First you
And
call it like,
you
oh, what is
actually
this?
zap to it
And then
by
and then
yourself.
and then you start
Yeah,
asking questions to your wife. Oh, but what happened to that couple?
bro, that's
Oh,
me.
it's so joke.
Actually, that's me. So I'm actually the one who's zapping my wife's stuff now at night. I'm just putting it right away. I don't choose. I don't get to choose anymore anymore, and I'm fine with it.
Happy wife,
I don't
happy
care.
life, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I enjoy her stuff. I'm all day in my world and my head and my stuff. So at night, I like to enjoy some kind of like refreshing content. Some no like no. I don't want to pick a fight over like some some show to watch. Let's just watch whatever you want, baby.
Yeah,
And we watch it.
better like that, honestly, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Us
yeah.
for us guys, man, our piece is too important for us. Like, just let them have it, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm watching some random pop the balloon stuff. I don't know if you've seen that pop the balloon.
Nah, bro. I don't know
The
that.
pop the balloons. Go check that.
I don't know
Go
what these.
type on YouTube. Pop the balloon. It's actually
I'm
very
gonna go check
interesting.
it out now.
There's a
Pop,
few. Yeah,
pop the
there's a
balloon.
few hosts who are hosting pop the balloon.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I saw. Okay, yeah. That's pretty funny though. I think I
Very
saw a couple of them
funny.
on Instagram. That's
So
pretty funny.
I found like one host, and we like her.
That guy
She's
Anwar. You know that guy Anwar on Instagram.
yeah, I think so.
The guy Anwar. He's a short guy. He's a really funny guy. His mom is like
Yeah,
with the shoe. I saw
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah,
bit
yeah. I
where
remember.
he comes in. My name is Anwar. I'm 5'8", and they're pop 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 pop. They all pop the.
It's so funny. But like there's so many there's so much different content available. So I feel like your content is actually in competition with the rest of the content, not just like
Yeah.
business content. You're actually in competition with all content available to everybody. But I
So
don't care.
what's the
Like,
difference to you? What's the difference? I want to ask you a question. What's the difference between listening to someone on a podcast and watching them on video?
yeah, well, you know, I feel like there's a bigger difference between watching someone on a podcast and watching someone on a live stream because I could actually interact with them live and see them interact with me live. Um, actually ask them a question, have a live conversation, a one-on-one conversation, create connection. I'm all about like our podcast. What I like about our podcast is the creating connection part. And like we've been doing that since the beginning. I don't find that not having a lot of like views or anything is like at the beginning, like we were watching views. You remember, like obviously you're gonna be watching your views, right? How many people viewed my stuff?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what was the most impactful and like meaningful stuff for me was what was the nights when we had people joining the conversation, telling us like, "Hey, the I don't know how the how does it called? How is it called? The algorithm. I don't know how the algorithm showed me your podcast.
Yeah, that
But
was
like I'm happy
cool.
to be there, and I was like, wow, this is such a nice comment, and it
Yeah.
like it pushes you to do so much more content because you're like, hey, I might have another one like that who just shows up one night, and we changed their course. You know, so it's all about making deep connections to me.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You know who else I have a really good connection with? Les Entretiens Uninet. I don't know if you know them, but they're the king of cleaning. I keep saying this all the time. Les Entretiens Uninet, they're the best in the island of Montreal. And I keep saying to business owners who are trying to like clean themselves and run their business, you know, if you have a polo shop and if you have a clothes shop, focus on making good clothing. Let the experts do what they're best at. Okay. And right now they're having a promotion with spring around the corner. Book your spring window cleaning, 15% off window cleaning. Lock in your spot now before the season kicks in and schedule it. You don't actually have to do your window cleaning for the before the next 15th of March. You just have to book it. Just book it for this summer or this spring and you'll get 15% off. So lock in your spot and it's time to get a quote. Go to lesentretiensuninet.ca and book before your competitors do. All right, okay. Moving on to the next question, Phil.
Yep.
If someone's launching a podcast tomorrow, what's the first thing they should focus on to build trust? Sorry, I think I went to the wrong place, but yeah, you can answer it. My bad, bro. I think I went to the wrong section, but we can. I don't know if you
why
want
do
to answer
podcasts
this one.
create trust better than social media? No, is that it? Sorry, I got lost, man.
Oh, it's okay. Honestly, man, it's okay. You can ask them in any order. I don't really. It doesn't really,
You know what?
doesn't really matter.
Let's just reset that because
Reset.
I don't really care. I don't really care. Honestly, I have the notes here, but I don't really care. I just like.
No, it's just I hate to throw you off. Like I
fine.
was on the wrong page. My bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. If you had to explain why podcasting creates deeper relationships, how would you put it in one sentence? Podcasting, I don't know if it creates deeper relationships, but like I said, I feel like the live stream creates so much connection. Why do you think business owners should start thinking about podcasting like they used to think about radio?
Bro, because it's so cheap to do. Like it, all you need is a camera and a microphone, and you can start getting yourself in front of the world. Like every business owner, if you're listening right now, you should be making content. There's no excuse why you should not be making content. It in 2025, like if you're not in front of a camera, like I'm sorry, I know it's hard to hear sometimes, but if you're not making content, you're falling behind. No matter what you're doing, if you're making shoes, you're shining shoes, you're selling glasses, you're selling window cleaning, whatever you're doing, and even if you're working at the bank, even if you're working a regular job, and you want to do a side hustle, get yourself in front of it. It's free. It's free. You already have a phone. Start filming yourself. Get yourself out there.
Yeah, me and George were using our phone to film every day.
We're still using our phone. We bought this microphone on Amazon. You know, it gets the job done. It cost like probably 50 euros. You know, like, and it's pretty good. This microphone, actually, I've grown to like it.
It's fine. It captures my voice. You know, like I don't sound like ASMR that much, but hey, we're building a relation. We're here to build a relationship, guys. I understand the ASMR part, but like our main goal here for me and Jord, and also like, and I discovered that by doing a podcast every day. Our main goal was to create connections with our audience and people that you know, were not necessarily following us, but like just the people we like, we know, and the people around us. Jord is in Portugal for the most part of the year, so I guess for you it's also like a good way to stay connected, you know, and for people to stay connected with you to watch you on a podcast every day. It's actually nice. It's actually nice to have a friend, you know, that you could actually tune in and see like when they're away. Yeah. It's actually, you know, it's pretty rich. So me and George were having those nice conversations. We're sharing them with the world. It's like he said, it costed us like 50 euros for him, $90 for me. And
plus the boom mic in the arm and bro,
yeah,
like
$100. This little $50 you know what I mean? Thing. Yeah,
and it's priceless, and it's really priceless. Yeah. And you know what, man? I, like you could even use AI as tools to do faceless content. We're gonna do something with that. I'm getting really good with using AI and creating content. Like I could create content with AI. Just by typing in phrases and putting an avatar of a face and making that avatar speak. Like there's so many things that I'm working on right now, and maybe we could even do a course that I can teach other people how to do it. Man, it's really cool. Really exciting stuff.
At that point, we're getting better at it. At least start. You know, not necessarily like course on but a course on starting. We're getting very good at that because we started from literally scratch. We started from dust. And
look at us, bro. It's like as if we're not even on a live. We're just having a conversation on Discord. Like I love it.
Yeah, like it used to, and like it should be, you know. And it was a hard time. Like c'est tellement weird parce que it's when you look at it, you're like, yeah, these guys are naturals, blah, blah, blah. It took a lot of work and conversations between me and George to be like, no,
Yeah.
you're offset when you say that, blah, 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 you don't sound natural.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we like it was not that easy to be natural in front of a camera.
Yeah.
We needed our
Exactly.
own tricks, our own set of tricks, and like a
Yeah.
couple
Now
skills.
we kind of picked up a beat. I feel like,
Yeah.
and like I want like not to get a bit off topic, but I want everybody to join in. Everybody,
Mm,
even if you're not business people, if you're going through a rough patch in your life, you want to come and hang out, you want to come
mm.
chill, ask questions, and yeah, we're here for you,
Talk
man. We're
about
here
your
to
business, see how we could like
yeah, like
change some
yeah, ask
coefficients.
questions
Like,
about your
yeah.
business. What do you like? Man, we're seasoned veterans. I like to say like we're seasoned sales veteran.
Sales. I was about to
Fel-
say sales. Yeah.
Felix has a lot of experience starting up different businesses, setting up CRMs. Felix has got a lot. Felix is the type of guy that wears a bunch of hats. This guy's got a lot of experience to offer you guys. So come in, feel free, ask questions for Felix. And I like to say that we're seasoned sales veterans. That's our bread and butter. But we have also other stuff that we dabble in. Like we're both business owners. We both wear a
Automation,
ton of
stuff like
hats.
that.
Come in, and like I said, even if you're going through a rough patch, you want to just come and hang out, and we're here for you guys as well for that. So, all right.
Hey, bro, it's the fact that you're saying that is actually very interesting because um, this podcast that we're building, uh, we're trying to build an audience. That's the main goal. Obviously, you're not trying to like speak to yourself for like a decade, right? Like the fun part will also be when there will be a bunch of people, more people joining the conversation. But how do you build loyalty? Like how do you, and we've had conversations on that. And in the book today, there was a nice take because this guy obviously is a radio host and he knows a little bit on how to build loyalty with your radio fans or like the radio listeners. You need to be,
Mm-hmm.
you need to build that because people are not going to be listening to you and you're going to lose your job. And we're going to lose interest. We can't lose our job here because we're our own work
Yeah,
providers.
yeah,
But
but
like,
that's that goes back to my point. Like that's why podcasting is also so fun, right? Like, and like there, I don't know if I could mention his name, but one of my favorite. Well, it's a sports podcast actually because I was watching the sports podcaster, and he used to be a radio show host.
okay,
And he's a funny guy. He's got a funny personality, and he was never able to fully unleash his whole personality on the radio because he was working for somebody. And then he started his
yeah.
own podcast. And now he started his own podcast. Now he's able to be himself and say his own things and say whatever he wants. He could say the word shit or fuck or whatever.
Mm.
Not that I'm saying like, it's just like it's not about the word. It's just about being able to be yourself more and let loose a bit.
Mm.
So I think that's the whole point of it.
I think
So,
that's the whole point because your audience is in the crowd. It's one person. It's
yeah.
one person tuning in with our headphones, like in the bus or like at
Yeah.
home making dinner, listening to us, or at like right now we're doing it at lunchtime. We used to do it more at dinner time, but now it's lunchtime. Like it might be people, in their break during their break. And when you think about it that way, as a podcast, as a host, you're like, okay, like I'm talking to another person. I'm not talking to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It should be a conversation one on one, and it shouldn't be like, it should be a private conversation that we're having with someone, not like we're not on a stage. You know what I mean? And you get different people every day. Unless you really have like Geo showing up every day and you speak to Geo, but this is not like a one-on-one conversation with only your people in your like private Discord. Even though it should feel like it, but it's not. So it's about remaking that private conversation every day with new people. I feel like that's what makes it the most like that's what makes me feel like more natural about it. I feel less about like it feels less like, okay, I'm showing up in front of like 1,000 people. It's not. It's actually not. You're not showing up. You're not showing up in front of no one. Even if you see it that way at the beginning, you're like, yeah, all my family's gonna see that. All my friends from high
Yes.
school are gonna see that. It's not.
Yeah,
It's
that's for
actually
sure.
not necessarily the case. Maybe at the beginning, like the
It is
3-4
the
videos
case.
would have to. Yeah,
It is the case, but this little fact should make you change your mind. We're on this earth for
Mm.
time goes by so fast, man. You're only here for a little amount of time. Like, if you're really gonna live your
Same
life
here, man.
caring about what other people think, like, really, what a waste of a life you're gonna get. You're gonna regret it. Well, you're gonna regret it when you're on your deathbed. Knock on wood. Like, I don't want anybody to have regrets in life, but that's for me the number one thing is I don't want to have any regrets in life. And that alone, that fact is what pushes me to say like, okay, I don't care what my friends think or what my family, but I do understand. I understand the little cringe feeling that you get. We understand that.
Mm.
We understand that, but you have to understand the fact that like we're really not here for long, man. Who cares what people think? And I know it's like really cliche to say, but keep that in mind. Keep that in
I think
mind.
that's a mistake most new podcasters are making. We did that mistake when we started. When you're talking to your audience, you're trying to perform instead of just like being yourself. And we've had that comment from people we know, telling us like, "Hey guys, like it's interesting."
Did anybody tell you when you
But
started? By the way, did anybody give you shade when you
what do you
started the
mean by
podcast?
shade?
Did
Like
anybody throw shade at you or like uh, laugh at you or when you started this podcast? Did anybody? I'm not saying to name them. I'm just saying
laugh
did
at me,
anybody
no.
like
Laugh at me, no. Well, people will laugh at you and not tell you anything, so that's how it is. But I don't care. Um, I've had people.
I'm sure that that's for sure like a case that
I've
you
had
know.
people like I've had thoughts about me doing this podcast and having so much time for myself that I could make a podcast every day. So I've had that, and I was like, I can't do anything about that. If you guys think that, I've had like in my entourage people thinking that I had so much time on my plate that I could make this podcast during the day. I took I found it funny because at the same time I was like, hey, this is harsh, but at the same time, how could I take that? Like I'm making this fit every single
Mhm.
day. Why? Because I feel like this 30 minutes could definitely fit and be valuable not only for me but for other people. Out there, there's actually someone who was waiting for that advice or that I don't care, and it's there. Like I'm creating content. You and me have something to work on, like when we have to create shorts, and this is valuable. So that 30
Mhm.
minutes is an investment. And
Yeah.
people out there telling you, yeah, so much time on this. I actually don't. Like I have to rush towards like all this stuff, wake up early, go back, like go to bed at night later, and
Yeah.
make this fit.
I I agree. Like I hate having to rush through life. The only thing I don't mind rushing for is heading over to my great friend
Bro, you're
Ricardo's
so
restaurant
good.
at a Quinta restaurant located at
So good.
1851 Ontario Street, Montreal East. A Quinta restaurant, the closest you'll get to Portugal without going to Portugal. And yeah, you guys have to check them out. They have amazing dishes. They have burgers. They have poutines. They have number one, their Portuguese chicken is to die for. And I would recommend trying the Portuguese poutine, which is a mix of different meats. You got chorizo, we got Portuguese chicken, and we got smoked meat, I believe. Amazing. So yeah, check them out. 1851 Ontario East. Call for a reservation. We got to get their number on there, I think.
Samples, samples,
But yeah,
samples.
so that's it. Before we go, Phil, I don't know if you wanted to add in something else there.
Um, if someone's let's just end on that, Jordan. If someone's launching a podcast tomorrow, like we did, we decided we were launching that podcast. We started by having this little weekend meeting, and we started the podcast like on a Monday. If someone's launching a podcast tomorrow, what's the first thing they should focus on to build trust with their audience and have people watch them? What do you think is the
The
best thing?
first thing, that's a great question. I would recommend the first thing is choosing a niche. I would say
Choosing your
like
niche.
choose a niche,
Yeah,
choose something that you really love and that you're passionate about because at the end of the day, that's what's going to keep you consistent at it. If you're talking
alive.
about stuff that
Yeah.
you don't like, it's going to be a lot tougher along the way. So I think number one step is choose a niche, think about it, like, and besides that, go for it. Just
Mm.
take your phone, start recording yourself, and start talking about it. And Yeah.
Wow.
And
C'est un bon conseil. That was actually very. You're hungry, bro. You're going. It's t'en vas manger, hein? 100%. You came up with the best thing. Under pressure. Yeah. Dinner time. Let me give them a super nice, short and sweet advice. That was
I
quick
am
and
hungry.
fast and very efficient. I loved it.
Yeah,
I
that's my
loved it.
take on it. What's yours? What do you think? Let me just bring it back to you.
Bro. Honestly, I couldn't say. I couldn't, bro. You said it best, bro. That's actually the best thing. Um, Starting now was what would have been my advice. Starting now,
That's
like
amazing too,
I
though.
was not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not ready when we started, and it was it was perfect. It was perfect because it made, instead of like being a perfectionist and trying to like fix everything, I had nothing ready. I haven't worked on anything specifically and spent so much time on, so I couldn't be mad about like someone telling me, hey, this is bad, this should be changed. You become very stressed and very mad about something when people are criticizing you at the beginning, when you worked on it and you try to be like to hit perfection on it. Don't try to hit perfection at the beginning. You won't
Yeah,
hit
that's
it.
true.
You're gonna be
Absolutely.
so off. You're gonna be off by like 20 miles.
Yeah.
And when
So would you say
somebody's
like
gonna tell you, hey,
embrace
you're
it?
off by 20 miles, you're gonna get mad at them.
Yeah. So embrace it. Embrace the mistakes. Embrace the learning that comes with it, right?
Yeah, just go for it. Just
Sure.
show up in front of the camera
Yeah.
and ask questions. Just be humble. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I just showed up to the camera. I'm not that person. I just showed up to the camera. Show me what it
Yeah.
is. Be humble and you'll learn very fast. That's
Yeah.
my thought. Yeah.
And also, if you're doing it with a partner, choose a great partner. Choose a
Yeah, a
great
fun
partner.
partner. Yeah.
One thing that I have is I have a great partner. I have to say I have a great
Ah.
partner. I don't say that to
Oh.
butter you up, but I mean that because like and I say that because a lot of the times like I'm not down to do it. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of the times I'm not down to do it, but I have you to kind of kick me in the ass and sometimes keep me straight and I guess sometimes both ways. But yeah, man, I think I have a great partner. And I think if you're doing it with a partner, get a good partner. If you can't find one, then I would just do it yourself and
100%.
show
But
up every day,
c'est plus de
even when you
fun.
don't want to.
It's funnier à deux. Hey.
For sure, bro. Especially when you have a good bond, of course.
Ben ouais, ben ouais.
Yeah.
Hey, let's finish on that, my friend. I know you gotta go. It's late on your side, and I also have to go back to work. So let's leave it at that. For tomorrow, we're at it's getting
Getting Tuesday done tomorrow. So we're talking about
so
organization, right?
yes, sir. So see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Hit subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the little bell button to know when we're launching another podcast, and please leave a comment so we know about your business, we know about you, and we establish a nice connection.
Yes, and I'm gonna say it again. Please subscribe to our podcast. Really appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
All right, Jordan. See you tomorrow.
All right, Tony, hit it.
It's my turn. Okay, I will. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, go for it.
The button. Okay, let's see.